Virgo, sun, moon, and rising. Wow, we have 2026 and it's getting dark here with some electric career changes and some love reset buttons going on for you. Such an exciting year to be an earthy Virgo. We're going to break down 2026 with four main themes I want you to pay attention to over the next 25 minutes or so. I've already put out videos that are literally 2.5 hours long each for all separate signs. And you can grab that with a PDF guidebook for the year ahead, written by me in my description box below as part of my yearly fundraiser. It's only $22 per sign for each of those videos, or you can get the bundle, the whole set of 24 hours plus of recorded content for only $55. Check it out below and let's get going and talk about this overview for your sign. If you like this kind of content, please hit that like button, subscribe, and if you can find that hype button somewhere, that would help as well. So guys, your Earth, and you're dealing up the end of a story. This is the closing chapter on the eclipse cycle that began to work its way through your sign back in 2025 January and completes in July, end of July this year. These eclipses have been like a compression chamber for you. You've been like being squeezed like in the birth canal of destined and fated change. Change in home, change in relationship, change in health, change in career, change. Just everything is going like this. You've been compressed and then you've been expanding and you've been compressed and you've been expanding as you let go and you surrendered parts of identity, parts of career, parts of personhood that weren't really needed anymore. And when you're listening today for your sun, moon, and rising, your sun is your career and purpose. Your Virgo moon is your home and nest and emotions. And your Virgo rising is the character you play in the simulation that we're in. So the vibe I'm trying to point to is that you're coming to the end of a difficult year behind you. And although we do have one eclipse coming up, that fated destined Virgo eclipse that is going to happen in your sky, on March the 3rd or so, it is the last eclipse and it is a total lunar eclipse. It is really going to ask you to really finally wrap up a lot of change that you've been making in your life ever since last January of 25, even as early as September 24. So that's the backdrop. Now I've got the screenshotable of the thumbnail. I'm going to show that to you so you can take a picture. Why? Because I think it's useful. I hope you like this, but it's useful to have it as a kind of maybe a phone meme or, you know what I mean? You can keep it handy to remind yourself of some of the major themes that are coming up for you. And I'm going to show you this. You can screenshot it and then we'll go back to my face. All right. So let's roll. Let's get that picture up. And that's the keywords for you guys. Electric career change, lucky windfalls. I should have led with that. Money healing and romantic reset. Okay, those are the major areas of activation. And as I say that, I'm reminding you that your life after midsummer through to a year and a half is no longer about being in the wave of eclipse changes. You are going to let go of that energy and have a lot more sense of ease and certainty and clarity in your life. So the worst is pretty well behind you. You're just on the tail end of that eclipse cycle, South Node in Virgo. This is going to finish up soon. Now, as we move into, I'm going to take a picture, move into a picture. I'm moving away from that. It's just me talking at you. So as we just start off the year ahead and we're looking at some of the areas of your chart that I wanted you to focus on, the first thing I want to talk about is this. I drew a card for every sign from Carolyn Mrs. Archetypes, right? Because we all live archetypes in our lives. We all act it's like we're possessed by the archetype. And the archetype of Virgo is the servant. It's the one who's of service. It's a priestess. It's many things. But it's funny that I got the servant card for you. Literally, I drew this before we started. And it's light attribute. So when in its non-shadow, in 26, you delight in serving others with a free and loving heart, because you are always being of service, but now with a free and loving heart. But in the shadow, you will be using a lack of money as an excuse not to move forward with life. So if your job or your work is like a freaking grind and you feel like you're a servant and you're in this duty, drudgery, and servitude instead of destiny and service, then you're going to change it this year. So if there's a career reset, that's why I start with career reset for the sky. The career reset is here, but it's electric, it's shocking, and it's exciting, and it's freedom, exhilarating energy. And that's because Uranus, the planet of dramatic, shocking change, is going to enter into your 10th house, which is the sign of Gemini, April the 26th, and be there for 7 years. But often when a planet first ingresses into a sign, it has the most action. It's the most intense. It's the most signal for what's to come. I'll give you an example. Well, he was here last summer. You got a vibe on him last summer. He was here July 7th to November 7th. So go back to July 7th to November 7th when he tiptoed into your career space to give you some of the flavor. So my Virgo rising daughter got this massive, performance review and stuff and got a big bonus check. She was shocked, but I don't think she's in the right work. She's a Virgo. She's of service, but yeah, not the right job. So expect now some unexpected changes in your career. How long? Electric, freedom, innovation, exciting, exhilarating change. Well, I'd say that when he first gets in here, it's going to be the end of April, but he's in a beautiful, harmonious love up with Pluto and Uranus in the month of July. So I would say the best of the positive career change, this electric career change, is serving you as you move towards the summer, June, July, and August, especially July, where if there's something about the career that you want to completely revise, right? You're no longer interested in the way you do it. Something's got to give. With Pluto in your 6th house of work and job itself, trining the electrical current in July, there's a positive change in your career. And there may be a financial gain, I hate to say it, an inheritance or some kind of money you could be coming into, in-law money, spousal support money. I don't know. There's some kind of chunk of money that might want to make its way to you in June, July, and August that also would allow for you to completely be able to relieve yourself of a job or a work that you don't want, some situation that just doesn't work for you. Or you might be able to tether your money to a significant other's money in a way that gives more freedom to you because you have the two people's money in one pot. But there's definitely an exciting career change. And I think a lot of you, or job change or some liberation going on here. And I think a lot of you will find in July that it's most active because not only in July is Uranus, really flowing to Pluto in the 6th house of work, but also you've got Mars traveling through your 10th house. And that usually means like cut, end, and sever. Cut, end, sever, or quit a job. Okay. That's the vibe I've got for you. Something's going to change then. And yet it's exciting. And yes, it's positive and it's stabilizing for money as well. So that's why we have the electric career change piece of the story that I already talked about. And I'm terrible at not writing down the keywords that are on that darn graphic for you, but I think I can remember them all. Money healing, money healing. So we all have to make money because we live in the world, right? And so unless you're some princess or something, or someone born with a silver spoon in your mouth, money is important to surviving, food, shelter, water. Those are stories that are going to try to turn a corner for you in 2026 so that the money story is aligned more deeply with purpose and meaning in your life. Part of what's going to be happening here that's going to ask you to consider, is the money I'm making aligned with my purpose? Is this something that is going to, suit me in the longer run financially? It's going to come through in the end of the year. It's going to be in you'll feel it playing out September, October, and November as Venus moves through your 2nd house of money, earnings, and resources, and your 3rd house of internet, local neighborhood, business, sometimes jobs and work are here. And there's a lot of back and forth with the retrograde. And it's almost like Venus wants you to increase your success financially in the money, earnings, resources sector, your 2nd house, through a cosmic reset button in your 3rd house. And the 3rd house is for a lot of people. It's when we work in the local environment, that office building, that neighborhood, that brick and mortar store. But in our digital world, it's also now our digital neighborhood and our digital office workspace. And so there's both are possible. But I could say that Venus is going to try to move you into something a little bit more aligned with purpose and move you away from money that you make that is going to feel and has felt like drudgery, right? And part of this movement towards alignment with purpose could even have you go back and educate yourself if you're older, or be propelling you towards a certain area of study at a college or campus or university that's going to give you a purpose mindset. Now, I don't think that necessarily in July is the day you start school. It could be, but you say you get accepted at a university and you want to start or college in September, then you would like leave your job, right, in July or August. So don't be afraid to go back and to learn something, to professionally educate yourself. There's a lot of you that will find more joy in learning than you ever imagined. Like you'll go, I'm having so much fun. This is like, I'm having a blast learning this new skill, this new trade, this new thing. Sometimes you could get a company that'll teach it to you, that'll educate you and pay for it, or it's a part of your professional education, but it can also be offside of that. And so I encourage you not to be afraid of educational directions as a Virgo rising, especially Sun and Moon as well, a little bit maybe secondarily. And then the other story that's going on, so we have a money energy, money healing around money should be made because I'm actually enthusiastically making it, not that I need to like slave away and make it, right? But the other thing we have to notice as well is a combination of factors to do with love and romance and sexuality. Okay, love, romance, and sexuality, but also a possibility for some of you of some of the healing being going entrepreneurial. Like you decide that making money is a great idea, but I want to be my own boss. The time of that, let's talk about making money as my own boss in ways that are creative and fulfilling. And they could involve a hobby. If you have any kind of hobby, that's a fifth house story. It's a natural talent you have, but it's offside. Like I'm a really great singer, but I make money in a restaurant. I'm a really great carpenter, but I make money in accounting. Like if there's some hobby you have, art, creative, artistic, or enthusiastic about, there's something about this year that could open up doors for your hobby to become a livelihood. And it'll be something that you naturally are good at. Like it's not just a hobby. It's actually you're just naturally good at it. Now, this is coming from a Venus and Mars reset button in January of this year in your fifth house. Now, while that is just as likely to produce a pregnancy with you and a partner, one that you may not be sure you want to keep, so be careful, that is also just as likely to kickstart a hobby into a money-making endeavor. And if there is some kind of hobby that you want to side hustle on the edge of a real life work job thing, go for it. Because I can say that creating a business out of a hobby for a Virgo who is kind of like done with the thing that they've been doing, it's going to grow and exponentially over 2 years. So if you start anything in 26 that you will call my hobby, by the end of 2027, you're probably going to be successful, Virgo. So don't let your hobbies just languish as something that you wish you had time to do. In fact, take the thing that you love to do, that you're great at doing, that you have a talent for, and nurture it into an enterprise that's financially lucrative. And I think that's going to work for most of you, not just some of you. For that cosmic reset button in Capricorn is attended to by a very loving gaze from Lord Jupiter in the house of greater gains in your career. So I think that could really open up doors of prosperity. If you don't ever want to go the way I went, that's fine. Even your regular job, climbing a corporate ladder or something like that, it's going to change, right? To look for that June, July, August, but it's going to still level you up. The energy of leveling up your money from your career is most active for you through to about June 30th. So that's where raises and promotions can show up for you. Now, romantic love, if you're a single Virgo, and there's a Mars and Venus conjunction here in January in your house of sex and romance, there's probably, and the North Node of Fate is in the house of committed love. I'd say that a lot romance reset, a lot of single Virgos are going to go into a new relationship, and it's going to be very powerful and destined, and it's going to be very hot and very sexy. You guys, like the cosmic lovers are really going for it here. So that's a possibility. Now, what happens if you are with someone already? It can rejuvenate the romance. It can highlight the passion. It can reinfuse the relationship with that energy of infatuation and falling in love. And it's interesting because even though relationships ebb and flow over the years, this kind of reset button that we're talking about with Mars and Venus co-joined here in January that unfolds for the whole year, it does say that there's a lot more fun and pleasure in the relationship, affection, sex, fun, and pleasure happening for some reason, just happening. Is there more ease in the relationship? like if you were arguing or fighting, Venus is tempering Mars. There's less fighting. There's more ease. There's more consistency of agreement in the relationship. There's more formalizing agreements in the relationship as well. Do we want to have children? Do we want to get married? Do we want to XYZ? These kinds of conversations will emerge in 2026 in existing relationships that have yet to consolidate to those levels. All right. So that's exciting as well. And so we had money healing, we had career, excitement in electrical fences, pregnancy, fertility, hobbies becoming careers, potentially up-leveling your relationship, singletons meeting somebody and getting super hot and sexy. Now, the last thing that I had on my little poster for you, and this is where I can't remember what was on it, so I'm going to look again because I can't remember what I chose last night to highlight. Lucky windfalls. Oh, yeah, gosh, great, goodness gracious, gosh, okay. Windfalls are funny. We don't always get them. We have to have a natal code for winning money or having a financial windfall. So don't forget, we're talking general bell curve stuff. But the windfall can come because Jupiter is exalting your 11th house of windfalls and pennies from heaven until June 30th. And so in that window of time, having money rain down from heaven, like pennies on your head, is a possibility. But then you have to ask yourself, well, where would this pennies from heaven come from that it could be coming my way? And there's multiple possibilities here. One is money from your in-laws, especially inheritance and in-laws and money. Potentially for some Virgos, money coming through your own family system and the word inheritance. Another way this could come is to win money. Venus is luck. Mercury is the ticket or the ballot or whatever, or the games of chance. And Mars is the action plan. They all pile up in the first week of January, or first and second week of January, in your 5th house of good fortune and winning money for speculation and gambling. So it is possible that some of you might just luck out on a ticket that wins, or a trip with the gals to the casino or something like that, and you hit a jackpot. Most likely that's not true. You have to have placements in your chart to support that natally, but it's still a possibility. So in the first week of January, go ahead and play a lottery ticket. One ticket is all you need to win. All right, do not overdo it. The other thing about the whole idea of the windfalls and the pennies from heaven and the things that could land on you like that, I do like that vibe. You have this energetic collaboration with the North Node of Fate to Jupiter moving through Cancer. And the North Node is worldly success, and it's in the house of the spouse. Okay, so again, I think more like in-laws or spousal money is going to increase dramatically, or your love partner, you have to be legally married. They could have some financial breakthroughs in their career, and it's just going to up-level both of you. If you're single, then go ahead and buy a ticket, see what happens. And with Jupiter exalting your 11th house through to mid-June, and with the placement of Uranus at the time in the Taurus end of your 9th house, if you are in a relationship and you're sexually active and you don't think you want to make a baby yet, whether you're the guy or the girl, be careful, because I'd say that you're in a high fertility transit for the first 6 months of the year. And whether you're planning to make a baby or not, you could make a baby. That's my warning message for all of the Virgos out there. Otherwise, it's not your thing to worry about. It would be one of your kids making a baby, and now you get to be a grandparent. But again, we've got the surprise of the unexpected element in there. That's the key piece. And that kind of will end or come to a close by June the 30th. So that's your fertility window. Use it if you want it. Be cautious if you don't. Well, thank you for listening. I'm going to draw a card to end our time today. And don't forget to get my All Signs bundle, all 12 videos, or just your sign for $22. But hey, if you get all sign, the bundle, share it with friends and family, right? So description box below, go check it out. All right, let's go ahead. You can find me on Patreon where I teach classes. You can find me on Substack where I write all about the world astrology, and I'm totally unplugged over there. I don't have to worry about it. Like no demonetization. Wonderstruck. Okay. Something's going to make you wonderstruck I made these cards myself years ago, in 2026, like a rainbow, pot of gold at the end of a rainbow, guys. I said windfalls can come, but also wonderstruck. Now, struck is a Uranus word, struck by surprising change, right? but I don't know. Wonder struck. You're going to be struck by wonder and surprises. And I think most of the surprises you're going to like. I will give you this, with the whole Venus retrograde through your second and third house in the fall, this is going to be a time of really analyzing the way you make money and asking yourself to bring joy and pleasure to it, but also start something new. All right. Thanks for listening. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.